Trump was fearful for his life then. And Iran just keeps on leaning into this. They're mocking him. They're showing that he's a marked person in their mind. Like Donald Trump will post, Trump orders CENTCOM to open the gates of hell after U.S. troops killed, launches strikes on Iran. Donald Trump reposting this, open the gates of hell. And then Iran draws an X over his face on their various social media accounts, and the Iranian embassy accounts all say, stay at the same airport and welcome more fallen soldiers. Stay at the same airport, Donald. You have MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, top civilian politician in Iran. He used to be in the army also. PhD, the lead negotiator. He's just mocking the hell out of Donald Trump. He realizes how scared, how fearful, how weak Donald Trump is. And he posts this cartoon and he says, they wanted to punish Iran, but they punished themselves with triple-digit oil instead. 10 of 10 strategy, clap emojis. And it's a cartoon of someone riding a bike. World U.S. economy. Let's blockade Iran. Easy peasy. And the person falls off their bike and starts complaining, oil's now $150 a barrel. Global recession. Gas is $5 to $7 a gallon. The 10-year treasury note is 6%. 30-year mortgages at 10%. Wah, Iran did this. They are just mocking the hell out of Donald Trump. And did you see what went down yesterday? I reported on it yesterday evening. Donald Trump tried to get the Iraqi Prime Minister al-Zaidi, when he was visiting Iran, to serve as a new mediator because Pakistan can't mediate anymore because they have a defense treaty with Saudi Arabia. So they can't be neutral anymore since the Houthis are now blocking the Bab el-Mandab Strait for Saudi tankers, and 2 Saudi tankers blew up. So Pakistan can't be the mediator anymore. Qatar really doesn't want to be the mediator anymore because they know Donald Trump always breaches all of these agreements. And Qatar is worried that if Donald Trump starts destroying more Iranian infrastructure, Iran will hit the oil and gas facilities in Qatar and just obliterate Qatar's economy. So Qatar doesn't want to really even be that close to Donald Trump in these negotiations. So remember earlier, Donald Trump, in the past few days, he met with the Iraqi prime minister. Remember, al-Maliki was supposed to be the prime minister, but the U.S. wanted al-Zaidi. They thought they can control him more. And then he visited the White House, and Donald Trump, hit on him. Look how handsome you are. You're such a handsome man. That's like one of the weird things that Donald Trump has done as his kind of cognitive and physical condition continues to deteriorate. He keeps telling different men in the White House how handsome he is and how attracted he is to them. Like, remember the leader of Syria, Donald Trump, started spraying perfume on him and smelling him. Said, oh, you smell so good, man. Oh, you smell so good. Seriously, how deranged was that? Anyway. Long way to say Trump tried to get the Iraqi prime minister to be the mediator for Iran. So the Iraq prime minister showed up, met with Pezeshkian and foreign minister Araghchi, and begged on behalf of Donald Trump, please do a ceasefire. We promise you it'll be good this time. Donald Trump and Iran said, no, we don't want to do a ceasefire with you all. We don't need more mediators. We don't need any, we're done. We're not trying to do MOUs. We have no desire to do any of this. Donald Trump can just take his military and get the hell away. Or if he wants to escalate, Iran's ready. Iran will continue to personally threaten Donald Trump. And if they escalate, Iran will escalate eye for an eye and actually carry through when Donald.
What's going on? Happy Sunday to everybody. Yeah, y'all hear Trump is scared. This is the title. And you're listening to Mideast Touch That's the name of this person giving this information, Mediz Touch, and talking about how we're losing the war, but we're under the impression, allegedly, we're losing the war, but we're under the impression that we're winning. And, I'm confused. And, it's like, we take the demeanor that we don't need to tell our American people everything because talking to us, you're talking to the world when you give the news. So, I mean, in a way, I'm on board with that because everybody don't need to know your next move, your next step. So Trump is a master. President Trump is a master of being deceitful. And, he'll say one thing and do another. And in the matters of war, in the matters of power, I mean, sometimes you gotta exercise that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? I mean, today Sunday, we're not in church. Politics is not church. You know, um, so being deceitful is sometimes needed to keep the enemy guessing and off balance. And once they feel that they can figure out what you're about, they fall from it. So I get that kind of, you know, uh, unbalanced behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's intentional. And sometimes you got to move like that. Sometimes you have to be on a Jekyll and Hyde type of situation where you erratic, you over the top, and then sometimes you relax, you lay back. You have to exude that kind of behavior sometimes just to keep people guessing and off balance because you don't want people to feel like they know you, they know your behavior, they know your every move, they can predict what you doing and before you gonna do it. Like, as parents, I think we tell our kids that I know when something wrong with you and I know when you up to something because you my child. I know your behavior. I know your strength. I know your weaknesses because you're my child. Yeah, and I raised you. I know your strengths. I know your behaviors. So I mean that's just a real statement. So I just think, you know, and I don't think it's just President Trump. Everybody in politics has exercised this behavior because you got to. It's just like playing sports and you running plays like football. You trying to do one play, but it look like you're going to do a particular play and you do something else. You know what I'm saying? So and that keep the defense off balance. So this is just the same thing. And so again, I don't know if we winning the war or losing the war just from what other people report we're losing. But then when our American government come on TV, they say we kicking butt, and taking names later and we destroying major uh, uh, facilities that, Iran uh, uh, can't function without. And I just wish it'll all stop at the end of the day. If they are in negotiations trying to stop the war, please, God, allow that to happen because I don't want them to start a draft and then they taking all our kids to go to war and lose lives. I don't want that. I don't want that for my kids and I don't want that for your kids. You feel me? So the title is happy birthday to my niece, Tamia Chambliss. Uh, she going through a lot, especially this weekend. She experienced death, a close friend of hers, and that happened maybe Friday, and today is her birthday. And she was like, I'm not even in the mood to do nothing because it's not a happy birthday. It's a sad birthday. And I'm just going to sit still and just reflect. And I said, that's not nothing bad to do because I lost my mother on the 28th in 2022. And it was, 3 days before New Year's. So on New Year's, I stay in the house. I don't go out nowhere because I'm not trying to be alluding to being happy when I'm sad. And so I told her